Absolute racism at the Social Security Administration. I just ate a tuna fish sandwich with my own homemade sourdough bread, and Pablo is smelling it on my breath. You see what he's just doing? He's like, Dad, that homemade sourdough bread tastes so good. It does, dude. Man, doused in butter. Oh, doused, drenched, and doused. Man, I'm coming up with all kinds of great words. Oh, it's so good. Remember, it's Friday, so for Lent, for us Catholics, we don't eat meat on Friday. So just fish fry and things like that. So just keep that in mind. All right, so anyway, here is the Social Security Administration Retirement and Disability Research Center. All right, this is what they say they're into. The Social Security Retirement, why do I say Social Security Retirement and Disability Research Center? Because it's funded by the Social Security Administration. All right, the RDRC has three main goals: research and evaluate a wide array of topics related to Social Security. All right. Disseminate information on these topics, provide training and education to scholars and practitioners in research areas to these topics. Interesting. To meet these goals, they'll conduct basically their funding: Boston College, Michigan, NBER, University of Wisconsin, CUNY, Baruch, where the hell that is, UMBC, University of Maryland, Baltimore County. All right, that sounds all good. And we're going to come over here and we're going to see right here, this Center for Retirement Research at Boston College. They receive funding from the RDRC, as we always talk about these other ones as well. Now, thankfully, with the new administration, the Social Security Administration terminates research funding to universities. Let's take a look at what some of these universities are getting funded. The New School of Economics, the New School, had a grant of $2 million from the Social Security Administration in 2024. The research focused on disparities in health, wealth, income, on retirement income, social class that shape the work quality, longevity, and older ages. Let's take a look at what that was. This award unites the expertise of two of the New York premier institutions of higher education to confront rising disparities in aging and disability, harnessing the New School's innovative interdisciplinary scholarship to commit to racial equity. Professor Teresa Girarducci, a nationally recognized expert on retirement. Interesting. So we have equity. I'm just curious how many times they say equity in here. Equity, just once. But racial equity, interesting. So why did the administration stop funding this insanity? Because right here, it's an objection to a focus on research addressing DEI and Social Security retirement and disability policies. All right, 100%. I'm going to prove it to you right now. Here's the National Bureau of Economic Research. All right, so we got this guy right here from Spelman College, and we got this lady right here who knows from whatever. I don't. Oh, she's at Harvard. Interesting. And she looks at disability insurance. All right, anyway, let's check a look at this. And we're going to see the very first one: health inequality. Right here, health inequality and economic disparities by race, ethnicity, and gender. Disability. Interesting. All disability. Disability. Financial inclusion and well-being. Disability. Interesting. Or disability. All about disability. Expanding research capacity at historically black colleges. Racial and ethnic disparities. Native Americans. Let's see here. Retirement disability research, right here. How does Medicaid affect with people with disabilities? It's weird how all these things, right? All these things, and race and ethnicity. Interesting. All over the place. All right. So let's just keep going, shall we? What we're going to do here is we're going to go over Boston colleges. These are their articles going back starting in 2025. All right. Remember, they were funded by the Social Security Administration Retirement and Disability Research Consortium. Now, the DEI crap really didn't kick off until 2022. All right, so I'm going to show you what happened here. Now, here's a good article. How much does Social Security alleviate poverty? I like that because there are plenty of white people in poverty too. How is Social Security caregiver? I like that. What happens when parents fall short of requirement? I like that. Who would gain from updating Social Security, supplemental Social Security, supplemental security income? I like that. Nothing wrong with affecting people who are incarcerated because they're whites, blacks, Spanish, Asians, the whole thing. I get it. The vulnerable groups. Now, a vulnerable group could be all-inclusive to include poor whites, right? Yes, it would be. Now, they got a little bit of tribal communities. Doesn't bother me to have on that occasion. But that's just in 2025. So now let's go down to 2024 because we can see 2025, there's been a massive shift away from the insanity of racism. Race ethnicity right there. Check this out. Long-term services support caregiver are preferred by race ethnicity. Interesting. Oh, how to improve knowledge of Social Security with Black and Hispanic communities. What, Asians don't need to improve their Social Security knowledge? Very interesting. Kind of crazy. Oh, how can changes to Social Security promote racial equity? Very interesting. Let's see here. Let's keep going. Why Blacks and Hispanics contact Social Security more. How does Social Security claimant process vary by race? Interesting. Here's the tribal stuff again. Very interesting. Disparities by race, ethnicity. Oh my goodness, it's like the racial stuff is all over the place here. Crazy. All over the place. Crazy. Now what we're going to do, and again, that's all 2023. What is the insurance value of Social Security by race and ethnicity? It's crazy, man. It's all about race. So now what we're going to do is we're going to scroll all the way down. Racial wealth inequality in 2023. You seeing a pattern here? You're seeing a pattern? Yeah, I am. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll all the way down. We're going to go down to, we'll just start with 2021. Oh, right, 2022 right here. Again, how student debt plan helps Black retirees. It's all about racial stuff. Hey, here, how do cost of living differences are after retirement for low and moderate earners? Okay, that's pretty good because whites are low and moderate earners, as are Blacks. Kind of crazy. I don't know why you want to exclude Blacks. Has COVID experiences varied by race among older adults with disabilities? Black homeowners build wealth than white. Again, these are all 22, 23, 24. Who is in office then? Oh, is the scarring from unemployment worse for Black? How does racial inequities and bond impacts? All right, so we're just going to keep going down. We're going to go down until 2020. Intended bequests for housing equity in older ages. Retirees intend on leaving homes to kids. Inquest by housing equity. How much taxes will owe, employment outcomes for disability insurance outcomes. Notice there's nothing specific about Blacks, Spanish, blah, 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 natives. The early effect on benefit reduction retirement rates, all right. They even talk about right here, the bond thing, and they don't say anything about race there. Long-term fiscal spillover, some Social Security income shops, all right, okay. Pension caregiver credits and the gender gap, and this is from 2020. What non-covered public employees will earn pension benefits that fall short of Social Security? Notice there's nothing about race in here, nothing. The influence of early life economic shocks on long-term outcomes, evidence from the U.S. Great Depression. All right, well, that affects all of us. Change the new disability. Like, I have no problem talking about disability, but when you focus solely on disability in racial terms, always and everywhere, you're excluding a vast group of people, and that's going to be the majority of their population, which is whites, frankly, in terms of not just the majority of the United States, but certainly mass majority of the retirees. All right, right here, wire four, we can see nothing about race. Participation is, what here in 2019? How has racial inequality, so we got one article right here in 2019, 2020. That's it. But look, you can go down the whole thing. Nothing about it. That one time. Look at all these things. And so what obviously the economists did who bought into this, they took the bag from Social Security Administration. They were told to find racial disparities and highlight them like crazy. And they took the bag. They wanted that money from Social Security Administration, so they did whatever they're told to do. And you're going to tell me these guys are free thinkers. They're economic researchers who just they're preaching truth to power. Bull crap. They were told to focus explicitly and solely on race and disability at the extent of excluding a wide group of people, whites and Asians, without question, and not throw Indians in with either whites or Asians or Northern Middle Eastern people. I don't know what, they're not Black, they're not brown, so I guess it'd be excluded in whites or excluded as well as white. I don't know. All I'm just saying is that this is insanity on steroids, and Trump got rid of it, and now we're going to go back to having less focus on racial inequalities and more focus on the class stuff, which is fine, because class isn't based on the unfortunate ability of your decision of who you are as a race. I didn't wake up one day and say, I am Black. No, don't work like that. I'm white, dude. And that's just who I am. It has nothing to do with who I am, nothing to do with the content of my character, because being white does not make you good, bad, or otherwise. It's like being a firearm doesn't make you good, bad, or otherwise. It's just simply has nothing to do with that. And as such, when Social Security simply focuses on nothing but race, they're inherently being racist. And we don't want that. And that's just proof right there. Economists sold their souls for rock and roll to promote racism in the Social Security Administration. And Trump said, no mas, just like Roberto Duran. God bless.